The Advisory Council decides to exempt VAT on import of seagoing vessels of over 5,000 DWT, says Press Secretary. National Consensus Commission begins third round of discussions with political parties on ways to implement the July National Charter. Voting concluded in Jaksu polls, counting in progress. Chhatrodal panel boycotts the poll. International Crimes Tribunal fixes next Sunday for defense hearing in the case over killing Amir Hussain and two others during July-August mass uprising. Six more deaths reported from dengue in 24 hours. 586 hospitalized, DGHS informs. Qatar's Prime Minister calls for Benjamin Netanyahu to be brought to justice for state terrorism. Israel kills 22 more in Gaza and 35 in Yemen. Death toll rises to 30 in ongoing political unrest in Nepal. Talks underway to form interim government. Former Chief Justice Sushila Karki may be the next Prime Minister. And in Abu Dhabi, Bangladesh elects to bowl first against Hong Kong in Asia Cup cricket. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to News at 10. I'm Mahmoud Rahman. Those were the headlines. Let's move on now to the details. The government has decided to exempt the existing value-added tax on the import of seagoing vessels with a capacity of more than 5,000 deadweight tonnage DWT. The decision was taken at the weekly meeting of the Advisory Council held today at the Chief Advisor's office with Chief Advisor Professor Mohammed Yunus in the chair. At the meeting, the Chief Advisor emphasized on decentralization and strengthening of local government. The Advisory Council decided to form an independent investigation service for the police so that inquiries can be conducted free from political or any other external influences. The meeting discussed improving the quality of education in medical colleges. The progress of the reform commissions was also discussed in detail in the Advisory Council meeting. After the meeting, Chief Advisor's Press Secretary Shafiqul Alam disclosed this at a press briefing at the Foreign Service Academy. He said the Daksu election was peaceful, for which the Advisory Council thanked the Home Advisor.
যাদের ন্যূনতম ধারণ ক্ষমতা ৫,০০০ ডিডব্লিউটির ঊর্ধ্বে তার আমদানির ক্ষেত্রে আরোপনীয় সমুদয় মূল্য সংযোজন কর অব্যাহতি প্রদান করা হয়েছে। আর অব্যাহতির মাধ্যমে বাংলাদেশের প্রাইভেট সেক্টর বা পাবলিক সেক্টর বোথ সেক্টরের থেকেই আরও বেশি করে সমুদ্রগামী জাহাজ প্রকিউর করা হবে, কেনা হবে, এবং যেটা আমাদের ইন্টারন্যাশনাল মানে ফরেন ট্রেডের ক্ষেত্রে এটা খুবই আমাদের জন্য হেল্প করবে। হোম অ্যাডভাইজারকে ধন্যবাদ দেওয়া হয়। ডাকসু ইলেকশন পিসফুল হয়েছে সেই বিষয়ে। জাস্টিস রিফর্ম কমিশনের যে সুপারিশমালা আগে দেওয়া হয়েছিল সেগুলোরও একটা রিভিউ করা হয়। সেখানে বলা হয় যে ৫১টি সুপারিশ বাস্তবায়িত হয়েছে, অন্যান্যগুলো বাস্তবায়ন হচ্ছে। লোকাল গভর্নমেন্ট কীভাবে ডিসেন্ট্রালাইজ করা যায় সে বিষয়ে আমাদের মাননীয় চিফ অ্যাডভাইজার বারবার জোর দিয়েছেন, বলেছেন যে লোকাল গভর্নমেন্ট ডিসেন্ট্রালাইজেশনের জন্য বিশেষ করে তাদের যেন পাওয়ার আরও বাড়ানো যায়, তাদের ফাংশন যাতে আরও বাড়ানো যায় সেই বিষয়ে উনি ইনস্ট্রাকশন দিয়েছেন। ল মিনিস্ট্রিকে দায়িত্ব দেওয়া হয়েছে খুব দ্রুত পুলিশের ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্ট ইনভেস্টিগেশন সার্ভিস করার জন্য, যে তদন্ত করে এটা যাতে ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্টলি তদন্ত করা যায়, কোনো রকমের কোনো জন্য এটার উপরে রাজনৈতিক বা অন্য কোনো ধরনের কোনো ইনফ্লুয়েন্স যাতে না হয়। বাংলাদেশির যারা নেপালে আছেন তারা ভালো আছেন এবং তাদেরকে সমস্ত দেখভাল আমাদের এম্বাসি করছেন। মেডিকেল কলেজগুলোকে কিভাবে আরও ভালো শিক্ষা দিতে পারেন, শিক্ষার মান যাতে কোয়ালিটি ইমপ্রুভমেন্ট হয়, সেই জন্য যারা রিটায়ার্ড করেছেন, কিছু কিছু সাবজেক্টে দেখা যাচ্ছে টিচারের সংকট আছে, যারা রিটায়ার্ড করেছেন তাদেরকে কিভাবে এই বিষয়ে সম্পৃক্ত করা যায়, তারা যেন আবার এসে টিচিংয়ে আসতে পারেন কনসালটেন্ট হিসাবে বা অন্য কোনোভাবে, সে বিষয়ে আলাপ হয়েছে।
The National Consensus Commission Vice Chairman, Professor Ali Riaz, has said the final draft of the July Charter is being sent to political parties and the Charter reflects the collective opinions of all parties involved. Political parties have been requested to submit the names of 2 individuals authorized to sign the Charter by 5 p.m. on September the 13th. Professor Ali Riaz made the remarks while briefing journalists following a discussion between the Commission and political parties on the implementation of the July National Charter at the Foreign Service Academy in Dhaka today. Special Assistant to the Chief Advisor, Monir Haidar, moderated the meeting, while Commission members Justice Emdadul Haq, Badiul Alam Mojumdar, Iftikharul Zaman and Ayub Mia were present. Professor Ali Riaz said that today's discussions with political parties led to a consensus on 2 key issues regarding the implementation process of the Charter. He said the interim government may issue ordinances to implement recommendations that do not require amendments to the Constitution. Additionally, recommendations that can be implemented through administrative orders or regulations by the government or relevant authorities may be carried out by the interim government and the respective bodies. He also said the government and concerned authorities have already begun the implementation process through ordinance issuance and other necessary steps. Around 30 political parties, including the BNP, Jamaat-e-Islami, NCP and Islami Andolon, took part in the discussion. The International Crimes Tribunal 1 has fixed next Sunday for the defence hearing and Tuesday for the order on charge framing in the case over crimes against humanity during the July-August mass uprising, including the shooting of Amir Hussain, who was hanging from a cornice in Rampura, and the killing of 2 others. The 3-member tribunal, headed by Justice Muhammad Ghulam Murtaza Mujumdar, passed the order today. The other members of the panel are Justice Muhammad Shafiul Alam Mahmood and Justice Mohidul Ahaq Enam Chaudhry. At today's hearing, Chief Prosecutor Muhammad Tajul Islam placed arguments on the charge framing, while Amir Hussain and Sanawar Hussain represented the defence. During the hearing, the prosecution presented details of the July 19 incident. Briefing reporters later, Chief Prosecutor Tajul Islam said that on July 19, amid the anti-discrimination student movement, Amir Hussain clung to the cornice of an under-construction building out of fear to save his life. At that time, police spotted him and fired 6 rounds at him. Earlier, on September the 1st, the tribunal appointed state defence lawyers for 4 accused, including then DMP Commissioner Habibur Rahman. The tribunal also set today's date for the charge framing hearing. Another accused in the case, ASI of Police Jonjol Chandra, is already in custody. Meanwhile, in another case over crimes against humanity for the killing of 6 people in Dhaka's Jankarpur during the July-August mass uprising, the tribunal has fixed September 14th as the next date for witness testimony against 8 accused, including former DMP Commissioner Habibur Rahman. The order came today after the 6th day of witness testimony and cross-examination before the panel led by Justice Muhammad Ghulam Murtaza Mojumdar. The tribunal recorded the testimony of 2 eyewitnesses today. In the previous 5 days, testimonies and cross-examinations of 11 witnesses were completed. Earlier in the morning, 4 accused detained in the Jankarpur case, along with 1 accused in the Rampura killing case, were produced before the tribunal. The long-awaited Jahangirnagar University Central Students' Union JAKSU election concluded at 5 p.m. today, marking the first such vote in 33 years. Voting began at 9 a.m. across the campus, with 11,783 students casting their ballots amid festivity and long queues. A total of 178 candidates vied for 25 posts in the JAKSU central body, while 445 candidates competed for 315 posts in hall unions. Among the central candidates, 131 belonged to 8 different panels and 48 ran independently. Meanwhile, 124 candidates were elected unopposed across various hall union positions. However, the Jatiyotawadi Chhatrodol-backed panel boycotted the election, citing allegations of widespread irregularities. The JCD officially announced its boycott around 3:30 p.m., demanding the election be annulled and a fresh vote held. The situation escalated as BNP-leaning teachers who were engaged in election duties also withdrew their participation, alleging gross irregularities during the voting process. Despite the boycott, the voting process continued until the scheduled closing time. Vote counting is currently underway, with results expected to be announced later tonight or early tomorrow. The newly elected leaders of the Dhaka University Central Students' Union from the United Students' Alliance paid homage at the Raya Bazaar Intellectuals Memorial, offering prayers at the graves of martyrs of the Liberation War and the July Uprising. Newly elected DAKSU Vice President Sadiq Qaim led the delegation this morning, accompanied by General Secretary S.M. Farhad, Assistant General Secretary Mohiuddin Khan and other members. While speaking to reporters, Sadiq Qaim said the martyrs remain a beacon of inspiration. When the nation was in despair, the martyrs showed us the way forward. The new VP added that upholding the ideals and aspirations of the martyrs would be their mission. The interim government will hold a free, fair and impartial national election in the first half of February. There will be no deviation from this. Chief Advisor's Press Secretary Shafiqul Alam said this at a roundtable discussion at Sirdap Auditorium in the capital today. Citizen Coalition has organised the roundtable titled Responsibilities of Government, Political Parties and Civil Society in Organising all the Elections. Referring to the recently held DAKSU election, the Press Secretary stated that the election was steered successfully without any untoward incident and with the participation of 40,000 young students. Speakers at the programme mentioned that Independent Election Commission, independent judiciary, caretaker government system and free mass media are the shield for the free, fair and neutral election. If these things are ensured, there will not be any challenge in future to hold fair election, they added. BNP Standing Committee member Salahuddin Ahmed, Central Organising Secretary Shama Obaid, NCP South Chief Coordinator Hasnat Abdullah, General Secretary of Gon Odhikar Porishod Rashid Khan, Chief Coordinator of Gon Shanghoti Andolon Junaid Saki, economist Zia Hassan and human rights activist Shahidul Alam spoke on the occasion. Leaders of various political parties and civil society members also spoke. On now to international news.